LVM Logical Volume Manager. In Windows it is known as dynamic disks. That is, runtime you can extend the mount point size. Okay, suppose one mount point is there 2 GB. Now more or less 90% is full without disturbing any production server related anything. Runtime you can extend this 2G to any size. So LVM purpose, first option is disk. So in our Linux machine, SDA already there. Maybe it is around 20 GB. Root, boot, swap, home, everything is there. We are going to add SDB, SDC, SDD, SDE, different hard disks of different size. Practically when I'm going to create it, I'm going to create 2 GB, 3 GB, 4 GB, 5 GB, different size. So this is disks, but disks means it's a rigid. You can utilize first disks or second disks, but you cannot utilize, you cannot store a file 50% in HDB and 50% in HDC. That is not possible. So in LVM it is possible. So first is disks, then we are going to convert these disks to PV. PV means physical volume. Physical volume. That means we have to convert this disks, each and every disk to volume. It is nothing, one wrappering. So what are the difference between disks and volume? Say SDB, it is a 2 GB, SDC, it is a 3 GB. You cannot add and you cannot say addition of these two disks is 2 plus 3, 5 GB. But when it is volume, you can add it, SDB and SDC. So within this PV create, this is a command to create the PV display to check what is the status, and PVS, that is also one type of display but to the point. Next, once PV is created, we are going to create VG. VG means volume group. That is collection of PV to one VG. Collection of PV to one VG. So here also VG create, VG display and VGS.
Sir, what is full form of VG, sir, you said?
Volume group.
Volume group.
Volume group. Okay. So disks, physical volume and disks more or less same, just one wrappering you can say. So disks is rigid, but volume we can add multiple volume. So PV to VG. VG means volume group. Now from this volume group we are going to create LV. LV means logical volume. This logical volume is going to mount to any mount point, and we can access this logical volume. In future, if it is required, we can extend this LV. So LV related command, LV create, LV display and LVS. Okay. Up to this is our first steps. Once LV is created, our next option is we have to mount it. We have to mount and we have to use it. Now, suppose my VG size is 10 GB. From this 10 GB VG, I am going to create one LV1, another LV2. LV1, this is when I create it, it is 2 GB initially, and LV2 also 2 GB. initial size. LV1 mounted in data 1 and LV2 mounted in data 2. This is mount point. Now I have to extend this LV1. Okay, this is an interview question, how to extend one LV. This 2 GB more or less 80% 90% full, so I want to extend 2 GB to 3 GB, 2 GB to 4 GB or any value. How long it is possible? Max to max 10 GB, because total size is 10 GB of VG. And now LV is occupied 2 GB plus 2 GB 4 GB. So total LV should not be more than 10 GB. It can access up to 10 GB only. Now if more or less suppose this 2 is going to use 90% of VG, 9 GB is already used, then we have to extend the VG. VG extend purpose, one more DIX we have to create. We have to convert that DIX to PV. We have to add that PV to VG, and then we can extend. Now VG is suppose 10 GB to 15 GB. Now easily we can extend again LV, because already it is used 9 GB. 1 GB only free. Now it is 15 GB. 6 GB is there free. So practically we have to check how to create DIX, add to DIX. This is actually in real time, this is not your job. This is storage team, they are going to add. You have to send one request. They are going to add the DIX. That is known as a LUN actually. And you have to add it. And then PV, VG, LV, mount, everything is your duty. So this portion most common. Interview question is how to create one LV or how to extend one LV, how to extend one VG. And that extend time, two different questions are going to arise. So practically, let's see it. This is my machine. It's a fresh machine. Within this, only one DIX is there, Dev SDA, 20 GB. And these are the partition 1 to 5. Okay, fifth one is Linux swap, fourth one is extended, first one is boot because under boot is asterisk, and now 2 and 3. It is clear 2 is 12 GB, that is it should be Linux root, and it is 2 GB, that is home. But you can check through df-th. It is going to show you this is root SDA2, this is home SDA3, boot SDA1. So 1 to 3 is over, 4 is extended, and 5 is swap. And one DIX is there, SDA. Now what is our target? Our target is we are going to add few more disk. So first, power of the machine. Now I am going to add. This is for virtual purpose. In real time, when machine is running, you can add. So click on hard disks, add hard disks, next, SCSI next, next. I am adding one 2 GB, single file, next. Where I am going to create in this same location, CentOS 9, 8 AM, CentOS something BMDK. So click on browse and check it, D drive, CentOS 9, 8 AM, that is in same location. So by default, first DIX is CentOS 9, 8 AM, second one is CentOS 9, 8 AM -0. Next one should be -1, 2, 3 like this. Save it. Physically, if I move to D drive, CentOS 9 8am. Check it, this 0 is created. This is VMDK, virtual machine disk, and this is first one 20 GB. Now I have to add one more hard disk. Check it, 20 GB and 2 GB. Click hard disk and add hard disk. Next, SCSI. Now second one I am adding 3 GB. I'm using different size. Browse the same location, save, finish. Add hard disk. Next, Kazi. It is 4 GB. Single file. Next, finish. Add hard disk. Next, next, next. Suppose 5 GB. Single file. Next, finish. Okay. Check it. 5 GB, 3 GB, 2 GB, 4 GB. Different size wise, it is going to add 4 extra disks. That means this is SDA and then SD B, C, D, E. Okay. Power on this machine. Root. Welcome. Open the browser and check it. fdisk-l. Multiple disks are showing. For checking purpose, you can use grep dev. So this is dev SDA 20 GB, and under SDA these are the partition. SDB 3 GB, SDC 2 GB, SDD 4 GB, SDE 5 GB. So this 4 disks just now added. Now what is my target? I am going to convert PV, then collect the PV to VG, then VG to LV, and then mount, then LV extend. So initially I am going to convert this disks to PV, these 3 disks, not the last one. This 3, 2, 3 and 4. That is 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 4, 9 GB. Around 9 GB VG. It is not going to show 9 GB, it is going to show 8.9 or 8.8 like this. So let's see how to convert this disks to PV. So PV create /dev SDB dev SDC dev SDD. Okay, not E, because in future I will show again add one more disk and convert it to PV, attach to VG extend. So I am going to create PV of this SDB, SDC, SDD. Now before create it, if I use PVS, showing nothing, PV display, nothing, no result. Now I am going to create it. It will show that physical volume SDB, SDC, SDD, these are successfully created. Now try to check PVS. It will show dev SDB LVM2, that is LVM version. It is a 3 GB. This is 2 GB. This is 4 GB. But under no VG. VG portion is blank. That means PV is created, but this PV is not under any VG. If you want to check PV display, then same answer, little bit elaborate. Dev SDB, size and other information. SDC, size and other information. Okay. So PV display and PVS more or less ultimate the result of the PV. So PV is created. Now if I check VGS, there was no VG. So what is my target? I want to create one VG. How to? VG create. VG name, suppose VG0. And your PV, Dev SDB, Dev SDC, Dev SDD. So VG is going to create, VG name is VG0, and these are the collective PV, SDB, SDC, SDD. This 3 PV is going to accumulate. That is different disks to volume. Now collection of volume. These 3 volumes to create one group. That is VG volume group. It will show VG0 successfully created. VGS. VG0 is created. How many PV is there? 3. How many LV is there? Right now 0. Okay. And other attributes and others. And this is the size 8.99. Now if you create PVS, now it is showing this SDB, SDC, SDT, these are under VG0. Initially it will show blank. Last time when I check, it will show it is blank. That is, it is created, PV is created, but PV is not under any VG. But right now it is showing this PV is under this VG. Fine. So VG is created. You can check VG display also. Now what is my target? I want to create one LV. If I check LVS, no result. I want to create LV. LV create minus L plus suppose 2G. VG0 LV1. So I am going to create one LV. What is the length? Because this is not size, this is volume. Dix means size. So in volume, what is the length? That is actually size, you can say 2 GB. And what is the name of my LV? LV1. But this LV1 is created from origin is VG0. So it is showing LV1 not found. Group VG0, physical volume. What is the issues? VG0, this position is correct. Because when I use it, it is showing LV1 not found. LV1 is going to create. when I change it, first LV1, second VG0. First one is VG location, so it is showing volume group LV1 not found. That means LV1 has a volume group, so cannot process this volume group. Volume group is VG0. Just let me check. VGS. Yeah, it is VG0 only. Sometimes by mistake VG0 or O. So it is 0. That means it is okay. So command is correct. LV create minus L plus 2G LV1. 1 minute. LV create. Okay, minus N. I miss minus N. Minus N means name. Okay, logical volume group name. That is we miss. So you can use minus N. That is name of the LV and then VG0. Now LV1 is created. Okay, so how to check LVS? It is showing LV1 is created and that is under VG0 and size of this LV is 2 GB. In details you can check LV display. LV display is important because this path is required when I am going to format this, that is make file system. So my LV created. Now if I check PVS freshly, so it is showing PV details, VGS, VG details, 3 PV is there and 1 LV is there, and LVS, it will show 1 LV is created. Now we have to mount it, but before mount, first formatting, that is file system creation, that is through MKFS. Okay, MKFS. But what is my device name? So you please check LV display dev VG0, that is volume group LV1. This is the device. So MKFS minus T XFS slash dev VG0 LV1. This is my VG0 LV1. Okay. So formatting over, MKS over. Now mount mkdir, suppose data 1, mount. Before mount, if you try to check df-th, it is not going to show your LV partition. Okay, now mount, your physical is dev VG0 LV1 and logical is data 1 mounted Dave hyphen th. Check it last line. Okay, Dave mapper VG0 hyphen LV1 XFS file system 2.1 GB size used free mount point. Now you have to permanent it. Permanent purpose, what should I do? We have to write all the information to fstab file. So if you check fstab file, etc fstab, so these are the information: universal unique ID of your partition, mount point, file system, and these three we will discuss later. So our partition is Dave VG0 LV1 BLKID. It will show the block ID. So you have to insert this portion, and then we have to write here mount point, and it is file system XFS default 00. So how to insert it? The same command, double greater than etc fstab, and then just modify it. First option is UUID, second option is your mount point, that is data1 / data1, third option is file system XFS, then defaults 00. Okay, so up to this is okay. Now what is my target? See, what is the size of LV1? 2 GB. df-th. What is the size of this LV1? 2 GB. Fine. I want to extend it 2 GB to 3 GB. I want to extend this LV from 2 GB to 3 GB. How it is possible? LV extend, one command is there. LV extend. LV extend minus L, sorry, L should be capital, minus L plus 1G slash Dave VG0 LV1. It will show LV1 is successfully resized. Plus 1G means your existing LV size plus 1 more GB. Existing is 2 GB, so plus 1 GB means it should be 3 GB. But check the result. LVS. It is 3G. We are happy as per our requirement. But when I check df-th, what happened? It will still it is going to show 2 GB. That means your LV is extend. Your LV is extend, but your mount point, that is not extended. Okay. Basically, when I execute this command, I have to use one more option at the end, that is minus R. Minus R means recursive. That is, it is going to extend LV as well as mount point. That is recursive option. So if you miss that R, then it is going to extend only LV, not the mount point. Okay, one more option is important. When I mention this command, what is the meaning? Plus 1G. The meaning of this is your existing size It's maybe xgb plus 1 GB. But if I use the same command, suppose I use LV extend 3G. What is the meaning? Without plus 3G or say 4G. And this time I am going to use 1 minus R. Without plus 4G means your existing size 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, but ultimate target is 4G. Okay, ultimate target is 4G. Okay, this time not plus 4G means, if I mention one plus sign here, plus 4G means what is the current size? XGB. XGB plus 4GB. But without plus 4G means it is not going to check the current size. Current size whatever may be, but it is going to move up to 4G, not addition of 4G. Move up to 4G. Okay, this is LV extend, two options. One is with plus sign, without plus sign. One is with minus R, without minus R. Check it. This time if I press enter, it will show successfully resized. So let's see LVS. What is the LV size? 4G. Because I already mentioned it should be 4G, not plus 4G. My request is targeted value of my LV should be 4G. And due to this minus R, if I check df-th, what is the size of my mount point? Data 1, 4G. Because of that minus R, recursively, both are going to extend. Fine. So interview time, this LV extend, because LV created by the senior, but extend by anybody else. So LV extend command is a common questions, and they are going to ask you LV extend with minus sign, without minus sign. Okay, with minus sign, without minus sign. Sorry, minus R, without minus R, and with plus sign and without plus sign. This two is most important. Now VGS, my 3 PV is there, 1 LV is there, and 8.99, roughly 9 GB is total VG size, and free is around 5 because 4 GB is already used. Now I want to extend this VG. I want to add one more PV, the fourth one, so that my VG size is going to extend. My fourth partition is around 5 GB, so it is going to add 5 more GB. So check it, PVS, it is showing SDB, SDC, SDD. But when I check disk, SDE also there. F disk hyphen L grep div. Check it, SDE also there of 5 GB. So I am going to convert this disk to volume. Then I am going to add to VG. And from VG you can extend LV or create another LV. Okay. So let's see. First, disk is ready, but we have to create PV. PV create /dev SDE. Previously, when I check PVS, only SDB, SDC, SDD. Now PV create dev SDE, and once more PVS. Check it. SDE now as a PV, but SDE not under any VG. It is blank. Size 5 GB. Check it. Your LV is going to use these disks and then part of these disks. Still 1 GB is free because total size is 4 GB. So it is occupied 3 GB from here and 1 GB from here. Around 1 GB is free. So SDE, my PV is created but not under VG. So VG extend VG0 slash dev SDE. VG extend VG0 dev SDE successfully extended. How to check? PVS, check it. Now it is showing this SDE also part of the VG0. And if I check VGS, it is going to show how many PV? 4 PV. Total size 13.98, around 14. Because you just add 2 plus 3 plus 4, 9. 9 plus 5, that is 14 GB. Within this much free, around 10 GB free. Out of 14 GB, 4 GB is already occupied by the LV, and rest 10 GB around 9.98 is free. So I extend the BG also. Now you can create another LV or you can extend your existing LV. So LV extend, VG extend. Mostly they are going to ask. And LV extends time. LV extend time L plus 2G slash dev VG0 LV1 minus R. This is complete command. That means existing your LV1 size is 4 GB plus 2 more GB, that is 4 plus 2 6 GB, and your mount point also extend because of minus R. Check it. LVS, what is the size of LV? 6 GB, 4 GB plus 2, and DF-TH, what is the size? Around 6 GB. Data 1, mount point. What is the current state of VG? VGS 4 PV 1 LV, your VG size and VG free. If you want to create another LV, then LV create minus L, suppose 1G plus 1G initial time minus N LV2 VG0. So what is my target? N for name, huh? I am going to create one LV. LV2 is the name. From VG0, initial size is 1G. So if I use LVS, it is showing 2 LV. LV1 around 6 GB, LV2 around 1 GB. If I check VG0, it is showing 4 PV. How many LV? 2 LV. Okay, so this LV daily life we are using, not in cloud but in local data center it is used, because in cloud different type of storage is available. But LV concept normally in interview they are going to ask, because you have to maintain cloud related machine also and in local machine also. And nowadays rapidly so many data center is going to create VMware using the VMware and others, local data center also. So LVM is important. If I use history, it will show all the commands what I used from fdix onwards. Within this only one command is mistake, this two. Okay, I miss minus n, that is name, and everything is okay. Minuser, it is not mistake, but if you forget to apply minuser sometimes, you can use it next time using the same value. If you use, suppose initially 2 GB, now it is 2 GB, and add 2 GB, that is 4 GB, but you forget minuser. Next time you just use without plus sign 4G. That is existing also 4G, my target also 4G, but I use minuser. So what happened? LV is not going to extend, but my mount point is going to extend properly. LV decrease also there. Okay, if you type LV and double tab, LV related different options are there. We already use LV create, LV display, LV extend. Mostly use LVS also. LV resize option is there, but LV remove also. So many commands are there. But this LV related, only LV extend, LV create, LV display and LVS mostly used. And LV reduce, one command is there. Normally it is not going to use, because LV reduce purpose, first we have to take the backup, because if you reduce you may lose any data. So it is not going to accepted by market. Market is accepted only the LV extend. Okay, so please continue up to this. Any doubts, any questions?